Hi everyone, Tea Drinker here. Today I am reviewing Perfect Blue. This is a film that I saw for the first time a couple months back, and if you'd like to see my full reaction to the movie itself for the first time, you can catch it on Patreon for just $1 a month. What you're about to see next is the review that I shot immediately after seeing the film for the first time, so enjoy. So, Perfect Blue is a 1997 Japanese anime psychological horror film that is directed by Satoshi Kon. And boy, let me tell you. So I watched this today back to back with Paprika. It's 6 o'clock now. I've been shooting since about 12 or 1 altogether. It's certainly been it's been quite a emotionally draining and cerebral experience, but in the best way possible. It's also worth noting that these are the first two reactions I'm doing off the heels as well of doing Grave of the Fireflies and Akira, and I've been editing those two movies like the last 5 days as well. So Grave of the Fireflies was a really, really strong film, but in particular getting Akira, Paprika, and Perfect Blue, three of them back to back in just such quick succession, and all the overlying themes and particular plot events, and again just high levels of emotions and just high level of quality of filmmaking as well. It's certainly been a lot. So after this, I think I'll be doing the monthly community film, which will be either Wolf Children or I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, or I might be doing Train to Busan, or I could even be doing Tokyo Story. I haven't made up my mind yet, but be that as it may, with regards to Perfect Blue, more like perfect film, because it really, really is. I spent about half an hour looking up the reception that this film would have got when it was first released. The fact that this was made basically as a direct to VHS film, and then right by the very, very end of the production cycle, they realized, no, actually, we're going to try to ship this overseas, and it just became a phenomenal success. The fact that psychological horror in anime was never really done before, and there wouldn't have been a market for it, and it was just on a whim tried, and lo and behold, it became a really, really big hit, again, particularly overseas. And I'm glad for that, because I think that this is a film that, as aforementioned both in the content warning before the reaction and through the reaction itself, this is a film that has a high degree of very intense material, particularly in relation to sex and sexuality and everything that comes along with that. So anime, I don't think it's news to anyone to say that anime has not necessarily had the best reputation with how it represents women, and particularly with how it represents this type of subject matter. So to see something that's older that is dealing with this type of subject matter in a way that is very nuanced, and every time that there is nudity on scene, nudity on screen, it just feels so disgusting, deliberately, as a direct result of the characterization. That sort of maturity was something that I very much appreciated. In general, I think that in a way, me viewing this as part of a trilogy, or at the very least part of a double feature with Paprika, and the blending of fiction and reality of what is and isn't in one's head, and the mix of memories with the future, the conscious and the subconscious. It really is, given that I've found out that this was the very first film Satoshi Kon ever made, he ever directed, and Paprika ended up being his last. So I've gotten the whole bookended experience, albeit kind of in reverse order, but in a way maybe that was even better, because when I watched Paprika, I was dealing with something that was so cerebral and so heavy and so out there, that when it came to Perfect Blue, it just fit like a glove, because you're getting the cerebral aspects, you're getting those aspects dialed down, but still dialed quite high, and it's much more leaning into the character study, introspection, sort of thing. Very much reminiscent of classic horror, classic psychological, like the likes of Hitchcock, or even not even necessarily Hitchcock. It kind of going back further, of just seeing the complete deprivation, the complete falling into the abyss for this character. I loved it beginning to end. I think that I've certainly felt it with the last two films I've talked about, that with the, at least for now, with these reviews, I don't want to make them overly long. I just kind of want to make them more of a epilogue for the reaction that you've just watched. It's very much, I'm not expecting a huge amount of people to watch the reviews anyway, and I think that when I have spoken a considerable amount about the film throughout the reaction, that this review is really just more of an afterthought. So maybe I won't even call them reviews anymore. Maybe it'll just be what it is. This is very much me just kind of touching base after watching a film like this, but I did truly enjoy this an enormous amount. I think that, yeah, just once again, having Akira, Paprika, Perfect Blue, those three movies back to back, an absolute joy. It really has been an absolute joy, and it feels like kind of like the end of a journey just with those, having those three reactions in succession. So really, at this point, just all I want to say is thank you so much for watching the reaction, for taking a chance with these videos. I want to thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed so far. At this time of recording, I'm at 170 subscribers on YouTube. Just absolutely insane. I mean, the numbers that Your Name and A Silent Voice did back to back, I am eternally grateful for. This is just the beginning of the career, and I'm already having a blast. And as well, thank you so much to those who have subscribed to my Patreon. If you watched a full reaction to this, then you would have seen that on Patreon as well. So I want to, again, just thank you so much for everything. You very well might be watching this as part of the early access for Patreon. So thank you for everything. And I think that that is pretty much where I want to leave it. Thanks for watching.